Once upon a time, there was a boy named Paul. He was a 14-year-old boy that moved from Denmark to the US because of his father's work. He joined Elmer's Ohio School and joined grade 9. Paul was skinny, tall, blond, and was very pale. The first day of school, he was very shy and he didn't talk to any other kid. But in lunchtime, some kids looked at him and laughed, but then kept walking. Paul thought that they were just joking about something else, so he didn't care. The next day, he was walking in the hall when suddenly a kid bumped into him and he fell to the ground. The kid yelled, "Watch out, you stupid albino." He then got up and kept walking. Those words hit Paul like a punch in the stomach. He had never been insulted like that. He then walked away to class thinking about the words that the kid said. Later on, in lunchtime, he went to the soccer field to try to play his favorite sport, soccer. He asked the kid who owned the ball, but the kid said that albinos are not allowed to play soccer. Paul walked away sad and with a low morale. When Paul arrived at his house, he went straight to his room and he locked himself in there. He was in there all evening until supper time. When he went to the table to eat with his family, his mom noticed him acting weird. She asked him what was going on, and he said that nothing happened, but her mom knew that something was going on. When the food was served, Paul didn't want to eat anything, and that he wasn't hungry. He then ran back to his room and locked himself again. After locking himself, he went on Facebook and he noticed that he had some notifications. He opened them and he saw that people had commented on his profile picture of him in snow saying bad things about him, like, "Where are you, albino? I can't see you," and stuff like that. He then shut his computer and went to sleep. In the morning, Paul told his mom that he was feeling sick and that he didn't want to go to school, so his mom let him stay in the house. Paul did the same thing for more days, and then there was a holiday break where Paul and his family went to the beach in Hawaii. In Hawaii, Paul relaxed in the beach and forgot about his problems in school. One sunny day, Paul went to the beach and lay on the sand with his towel. He closed his eyes for a minute and he fell asleep. He then woke up 10 minutes later and he felt his skin very hot, and when he saw his arm, it was a little bit darker than before. He then thought that if he could tan, then no one would tell him that he looks like an albino, and then bullying would stop. He then quietly took the tanning oil from his mom and put it all over his body. Then he laid down again and waited for some time. After 40 minutes of being in the sun, he noticed that his skin wasn't pale and instead it was kind of brown. His parents noticed the change, but they thought it was a normal thing that teens do. When Paul got back to school, no one told him anything, and even some girls smiled and waved at Paul. It was as if Paul was a new person and no one recognized him. In lunch, some kids came to him and asked him if he wanted to play soccer, so he went. Some days passed and Paul already had some friends. They were new to the school and they had become good friends with Paul. The days passed and Paul's skin was getting back to normal, until one day he was the pale kid he was before his trip. He thought that he had to tan himself again, but he noticed that no one bothered him anymore and that he didn't need any more tanning oil to get friends. So he was just himself. Throughout the years, he met more people and have more and more friends. He then realized that he didn't have to wear a mask to get friends, he just had to be himself and find the right people.